traders. All right, traders. It's your girl Scarlett. Like I said, we're gonna start getting you guys your weekly analysis, projections, talking about our previous projections and what actually transpired in the markets, especially if we had some long-term plays, short-term plays, things of that nature. And we'll wrap from there. I hope you guys are staying safe during this COVID-19 BS. In addition to, I hope if you celebrate Easter, I hope that you're having a time to stay safe and have at least some type of good food, or use Instacart or, any delivery service that you have in whatever country you're in. And that you're, trying to stay in touch as much as possible with your families during this time. So let's go ahead and get to it. All right. So with DXY, like I stated last week, I specified that I was taking a look at this monthly level here. Now, we already wicked off of this point. This was the previous point that we were looking at, and I was anticipating price to get back up into this region. Weekly, however, obviously was higher, had a slight break here. Looking at daily, we did have some, looks like it's going to do some complex pullback activity for the dollar. But like I told you guys, as far as the dollar is concerned, and as far as like the US 30, as far as the stocks are concerned, I'm looking mainly long term. So that means that I'm not looking at 1 hour or 30-minute or anything lower than that. Even 4 hours is kind of a stretch for me right now, just because I'm waiting to see what the news events are going to be reported, especially for NFP next month. With all the unemployment rates, a lot of people filing for unemployment here, with just taking a look and just following along with fundamentals as well. So that's something that, I'm just really trying to pay attention to. So this little activity doesn't really scare me right now. I'm not really going to acknowledge the bullshit, so to speak, in this vicinity until this region down here, this minor support point, breaks. Okay, we're still extremely bullish as far as the weekly is concerned as well. So I'm still anticipating price getting back up to this point. Okay, 4 hour time frame, like I said, I'm not really acknowledging it because this is a heavily support level for 4 hour, and this is kind of just doing like complex pullback activity. Okay, so as of right now for the dollar, if we're talking long term, I'm still expecting price to get back up into this region and then look for some activity on like weekly or daily to give me either some type of confirmation that price is going to break past here or reverse. Okay, now as far as US 30, okay, I told you guys last week that I was heavily paying attention to this level here. Also, the fact that we had this monthly close with this long exhaustion wick. Okay, so as of right now, this candle on monthly is currently bullish. However, like I stated, weekly is still in a bearish condition right now, simply because we do have this level here that broke. Okay, so weekly, daily is bearish, but they're just retracing right now. Okay. 4 hour is bullish. Okay. And like I told you guys last week, I was really paying attention to this vicinity right here, like I stated. And I said, if this was able to break, that I would be looking to go bearish for a short-term play. However, we were not able to break. So this was your opportunity to capitalize on some buys. So if you were paying attention to this level, like I told you last week, if you saw the opportunity and you know how to enter based off of your training, or based off anything you saw on YouTube, or based off any trainer that you have, or if you're a Forex Sniper School student, you should know how to enter at these levels by now. You could have easily caught yourself, okay, a nice amount of pippage, okay, just putting that in perspective. Okay, so now let's go ahead and go to gold. So like I told you guys last week I had levels marked off for 4 hour, where I had this little level here, here, and here. I told you guys that I saw that weekly was in fact still really bullish. I saw that daily was bearish, 4 hours bearish. So I was looking to see price get up into this range. So if you were paying attention to the analysis that I provided last week, I think roughly it was around this range here. Could have easily had yourself a nice 476 pip TP, especially because you had some targets, or if you had those levels marked off like I specified last week, you would have known to pay attention to those areas, to have them as projections, and you could have had small, I wouldn't call them scalps because they're not necessarily, I mean, they're kind of intraday. kind of intraday. Yeah, so you could have had some intraday trades last week based off of the analysis, because I told you that your higher time frames were mainly bullish, your lower time frames were bearish, but they were currently retracing. So the main areas that I was interested in was approaching this level in the first place, which is where we currently are stopped. So we'll look to see what happens at this region, being that we're at this weekly, daily level. Monthly is in fact bullish, like I said, and I told you if this weekly level is able to break right now, I'm anticipating this going I'm going to look for some type of buy opportunity to ride this up for another 561 pips. But overall, I'm expecting it to get to this monthly level. Okay. Now, how long that takes, we don't know. Okay. But that I'm just letting you know my overall projection for a long-term play as of right now. As far as weekly is concerned, weekly did a retracement, gave us a higher high, and we did have the low. And we are, like I said, at any time that gold increases in value, usually the stocks are taking a hit. I told you guys that NFP, as of right now, I'm anticipating that being a really big blow to the economy in general, just because of the simple fact that we have so many people that are unemployed and not working right now. So, and I told you that I see that weak gold is bullish, okay? This is not a signal. This is not a signal. You still have to be smart with technicals. You still have to be very intelligent with those necessary clues, especially with those high impact news events and those releases, okay? But I'm stating that based off of what I see and the activity that I see, that I am believing that this, because I'm expecting the monthly level to in fact get here, I am expecting US 30, any indices, any stocks to drop heavily next week in the upcoming months, and I'm expecting gold to take off. Okay, so that's just where it's at. Okay, I am going to pay attention to I'm paying attention to this level for long-term plays. If this level maintains, then I'm going to be looking for more short-term opportunities, which means that I'll be looking for some opportunities for this daily point. And if you want to play it safe, you can wait for this 4-hour level to in fact break. Okay. Now, this is a minor level, minor play. So if this does in fact break, I'll be looking for the break, the retest, and I'll ride this down to this level down here. Okay. So that's mainly what I'm looking at for the gold. Okay. Now, next we went into UCAD. So with UCAD, if you were paying attention, initially our information was like right about here. I think it was right about here, okay? And I told you guys that we were in this bearish channel, but overall 4-hour was bullish. I also let you know that we were in this monthly level. However, since monthly is bullish, I can't assume that this is in fact going to definitely be the time for a bearish transition. I don't know that yet. So the main thing that I'm trying to pay attention to right now is weekly and daily to see if they give me any clues to signify that that we can get a long-term sell-off. And like I said, if USD is in front, okay, I am anticipating some type of activity to drop, especially with like the news events. But as of right now, everything is still relatively bullish, okay? So if you were paying attention and you were looking for this region, like I stated, you could have easily been up, okay, roughly 267 pips from last week if you paid attention to the analysis that I gave you and you followed the diagram and you know how to enter the right way, either with the information that you have been taught with YouTube, other traders, or if you are a Forex Sniper School student, okay? So right now I'm currently paying attention to this level here to see if this maintains. If this holds, I'm going to be looking for bullish activity. If it doesn't, I'm going to be looking for another break and a rally down to this point, which is going to be another 162 pips. Again, like I told you, we're still waiting for like we have the daily retracement here, 4 hours giving us this channel here. Weekly, I wouldn't say has retraced yet, okay? So if 4-hour breaks, I'm going to be paying attention heavily because that means that this, especially this level that I'm going to be looking for weekly to officially give us some type of retracement, and give us a nice amount of pips in that regard, okay? Now, GU, what was it? What was the next one? GU, okay. So GBP USD, all right? So I told you guys that I was paying attention heavily to this level. Okay, told you guys weekly was bearish. Also let you know that daily was bearish. Okay, 4-hour is in fact bearish, but I also informed you that we did have a minor resistance play. Okay, that broke on the 4 to signify that daily and weekly, not weekly, but daily is most likely retracing. Okay, I told you that you needed to heavily pay attention to this price point in this price line last week, which is why it's still there at 1.21601. Okay, And I stated that if this was in fact to break below, that I would be looking for bearish signals. If it wasn't and it was going to maintain, that I was going to be looking to buy. I also mentioned this level here. We're back at this point. So if you caught this buy up into this region, you were able to ride it up here. This level still hasn't broken yet. So, you know, we're just really paying attention, paying attention to our signals to see if we can get some type of opportunity to catch the sale back down. But we are past these potential reaction areas. So if this does in fact break past here, we're going to look to ride this up, break, retest opportunity, and that'll be another 137 pips, so on and so forth. But like I told you, because 4 hours is giving us some type of complex pullback, 4 hour is lining up with our daily level right here. I am anticipating this getting here, or roughly, let's do the price lines here. All right, I'm anticipating it to 1.25951 on the low, or up here, okay, 1.29369. Okay, so we're really just trying to pay attention to what signals we get at these levels to give us the opportunities to either ride to the next level towards our retracement, keeping in mind that daily overall and weekly overall is in a bearish condition, but we are coming off of a strong monthly level. And if we look in the past, this has been respected multiple times. Okay, next one we're looking at is AU. Okay, AU and NU are essentially the same thing. I told you the long-term plays that I was looking at to ride down for, you know, hundreds of pips. Those have not played out yet though, because they're long-term. Okay, but I also told you guys that if you were in fact paying attention to the 1 hour level, that I was looking for the 1 hour level to be broken and or this level right here to be respected. Okay, which obviously if the price stayed above this plane, I said if it was able to break below this, that I'd be looking for, you know, a sell back into this point. And if not, I was going to be looking at the fact that we have a level here that's broken also. So we'll be looking for some type of bullish activity to give us a complex pullback on AU, and NU happen to do the same thing. So it stayed above this region, okay, which is above this 1 hour level that I was informing you guys of. And because it did so, if you were able to keep in mind or keep this level, this price point at the 0.60764, once price broke, you could have had an opportunity. You guys could have been up, okay, 276 pips. So if you're paying attention to the analysis that I'm giving you and you're paying attention to see how price reacts and you know how to actually enter at these levels, you could have been up roughly about, you know, maybe 500 or 600 pips and maybe a little bit more if you had multiple entries already. Okay. Now, if we're paying attention to NZD USD, paying attention to that level, we had the same situation. I told you guys that I was paying attention to this level here, and if this was able to break, I was going to be looking for some type of short opportunity to get here, which is going to give me 174 to the downside. I told you guys that looking overall, that it looks like we were doing some complex pullback activity on the daily. So because of that, I was looking at the 1 hour level, and I was saying if price was able to break above this, same situation with AU and NU, easily could have been up another 170 pips on this pair as well. Okay, so there's a lot of pips, if you paid attention to my analysis from last week, that you could have, you know, you could have maximized some opportunity here. So if you didn't, sucks to be you, player. Feel me? All right, so now we're on EU. Okay, so EU, like I told you guys, I'm still anticipating bearish activity. I have this level marked off, this region. It could give us a little bit of, it's giving us a lot of seller exhaustion here. So, you know, just paying attention to that. But I told you guys my long-term plays, long-term shots. If this was respected, I was going to ride this up here. If this was broken, we're riding this down here. On the weekly time frame, I told you guys, but the main thing that I wanted you to pay attention to was the fact that I told you guys that on Euro that we had the bearish condition, yes, but it all, you know, and we had the situation, but it was struggling. It gave us kind of like a double bottom activity and started to rally back up with the higher low. So if that is in fact the case, that means that 4 hours giving a complex pullback as well. Okay, so Euro, I'm anticipating to go higher because I'm expecting the dollar to drop, right? However, but that's not for at least a couple more weeks from now. So right now, you know, I was anticipating Euro to drop. a little bit more, but it didn't. So, you know, even though you have you're going off your technicals and you're doing your analysis for long-term plays and things of that nature, and you're also paying attention to your fundamentals, you still want to pay attention to levels that are relevant right now so that you can still get opportunities. And I told you guys last week specifically that there was a 1 hour level that I was going to look for price to break, see if it could retest, and then ride that up. If you did in fact catch this 1 hour play, you could have been up and easily another 93 pips. Okay, so I think we did 150, 300, another one here, 400. Yeah, you could have been up 1,000 pips from different pairs just on basic setups. Okay, simple plays here. If you don't know how to enter, okay, then like, listen, you could go to Baby Pimps for free. You could scourge YouTube for free. You can find a mentor that you feel like you trust, or you can come to us. All right, simple. I'm not gonna oversell the shit because I don't want to be bothered anyway all the time. Just keeping it honest. You know what I'm saying? If you're serious about Forex, you're really gonna have to submerge yourself into this to make sure that you fully understand this. Do not listen to these motherfuckers that are telling you that you could just get this shit within like 2 or 3 months and then it's a game. You're going to lose some money. There are some psychological things that you have to overcome besides the technical analysis. You could be a beast at technical analysis and freaking psychology and be ass with actually executing a trade. Period. Okay, fundamentals and technicals, and then your psychology just sucks, or you're too damn emotional. Or your psychology could be amazing, but you suck at technicals, or your projections, or you don't know how to move with the ebbs and flows of the market. So that's something that you need to really take into consideration if you really want to do this shit. Okay, and don't waste my damn time. Don't come here and try to be a student of Forex Sniper School if you're not going to take it seriously, because I meet you halfway. So if you're going to give a half-ass effort, you're going to get a half-ass mentor. If you're serious about it and you're really trying to make some shit pop, then I'm going to do my best to make sure that it clicks and make sure that you fully understand it. And that's just me giving my genuine, honest answer, because I'd rather trade anyway and be left alone. Okay. We did have a student that actually, he made his first 30Ks in the Netherlands. Great student. You can check it on our Instagram, but had a 30,000 in euros because he's over, he's overseas. But he's been with me for a while, you know what I'm saying? He dedicated himself and he had to work on his psychology and making sure that he maintained consistency. And we teach multiple ways to trade. So there's different ways and different avenues that we teach you to look at the market to figure out what works best for you, your lifestyle, and what is easier for you to understand. So just take that into consideration, okay? Now, as far as what I'm expecting, okay, and what I'm paying attention to for the upcoming weeks. I kind of went over it a little bit, but let me just do it again. All right. So as of right now, on weekly, we're still bearish. Daily, we're still bearish. 4 hour, we're bullish. Okay. So as of right now, just looking at everything and paying attention to how we're moving here. I'm really going to pay attention heavily to this area here. If we're able to break above this level at the 24963, I'm going to look for a buy opportunity to ride this up and catch another lots of pips. Okay, let's keep it simple. I'm not gonna say all the goddamn numbers. You can read. Okay, if this level does in fact break on this 4 hour plane, I'm sorry. Okay, and we are able to get this point, or maybe even here. Let's update this. Okay. Okay. Excuse me. If we're able to break above, below this point, I'm gonna go and look for some bearish rally there. Okay, 4 hours giving us a complex kind of pullback situation here. Give me 1 second. Hold on. Okay, so we're definitely doing a daily retracement right now for the US 30. Okay, so what I'm definitely gonna pay attention to right now is look for some opportunities on the 1 hour, maybe 15 minutes to ride up to this point. If this continues to break, I'll ride this up to this daily level, and I'll pay attention heavily to see if there's any opportunities to the downside once it gets to this point and here. Okay. Now for gold, like I told you, we're currently at this level here. This is a make or break point. We have a 4 hour circumstance here, 4 hour daily. A lot of that's all in this range. So if you want to try to get an opportunity off of the level for the sell, you have to know how to enter. If you want to play it safe, you're going to wait for this level here on 4 hour to break. And if 4 hours is able to break, then you'll look for some sell opportunities to the downside. Okay. for as far as gold is concerned. Okay, for UCAD, all right, UCAD, I told you guys, I actually gave you a little bit of a play. I'm looking to see how price reacts at this point since we're here. If it is, I'm going to go ahead and look to take this to the upside. If this level is in fact broken, I'm going to go ahead and look for some opportunities to take a sell down to this region to see if this level maintains for another 170 pips that way. Okay, for UJ overall. Okay, now you can see the entries here for the UJ opportunity. So UJ right now, I told you guys I was paying attention to this level last week. UJ did kind of like a false breakout, but the main reason is that 1 hour is kind of giving us this channel situation. Okay, so I'm really heavily paying attention to what goes on here. Okay, if this level is able to break, I'm going to go ahead and try to give me some sell plays to the downside here. Okay, mainly because daily is kind of giving us a complex pullback situation. Daily overall is still bearish. Okay, weekly is bullish, but weekly is in a bearish channel, and we have already hit this. So that's the main reason why I took that sell opportunity here, just because I know that daily is still bearish, and 4 hour was having some issues with that level, as well as if you look here, the reason why I took this play is because I saw that we had this this bearish channel, and this level right here of resistance was heavily maintained on the 1 hour time frame. So I was able to get an opportunity within this region. Okay, so now that we're approaching this 1 hour plane, if it stays here, then I'm going to look for a bullish rally to continue whatever 4 hour has going on. If it is not able to do so and it breaks below this point, like I said, I'm going to be looking for the sellers to continue the daily action. Sometimes it takes a while. Sometimes UJ can act a little strange. Okay. Now, UCAD. Oh, that's USD CHF. Didn't mark that. My bad, y'all. Told you about UCAD, GBP USD. Okay, so as of right now, like I told you, I'm paying attention to this level. If this is in fact able to break, like I told you, I'm waiting for price to come back up to one of these points here so that I can ride to that region. Also looking down at AU, told you guys. All right, so AU as of right now is still bearish. It's kind of doing a complex pullback on the daily time frame. We don't have any way to mark any type of channel, rising wedge or anything of that nature. So right now I'm just paying attention to the 4 hour time frame and 1 hour time frame. 4 hour time frame, we do have a break. Okay, so I'm going to be heavily paying attention to this point right here. Okay, if this is able to break, okay, then I'm going to be looking for sales at that point. If this maintains, then I'm going to be looking for the bullish rally to ride it up to this plane. Okay, daily not so much, but 4 hour you mainly want to pay attention to, okay, roughly the 65288 level region. Okay, pay attention to those points as well. Okay, and we currently at this level, kind of like, give me 1 second here. 4 hours at a higher high point at the moment. 1 hour is kind of giving us some activity as well. I'm kind of expecting a retracement, at least for half the week. Okay, but you need to look for those necessary clues and those signals. We are kind of above this region anyway. Okay, but I'm kind of struggling a bit here. So 1 hour is going to have to continue its price action to the upside if it's indeed going to reach this 65288 level. If it's unable to do so, then we can expect some retracement at least to maybe the, okay, roughly around here, 62080, and then that's going to give us, okay, that'll give us like 140 pips to the downside. Okay, that's a counter trend trade, so if you don't know how to trade those, I probably would wait for price to get back to a support point or support region, and then ride that back up to the rally to the upside, which is this point right here. Okay, now AUD, now NZD USD, same situation. Okay, we're currently at a level here that we not really, I mean, we have like a pause in price. This is the level that we're paying attention to right here. Okay. Okay, and that is currently roughly at the 60774. Now, 4 hour, we did have, looking at what price action is showing right now. Okay, you do have this level here of support. Also have this level of resistance here. Price is struggling heavily at this point, so you need to really pay attention to what 1 hour is showing you, reversal patterns, things of that nature, to see if you can get those clues at this region. Okay, now 1 hour is in fact, it's done a higher low already. It's trying to do the higher high, so kind of doing the consolidation action. Okay, so if you really want to, you know, play it safe, if this 1 hour level, okay, is able to break in that price point, is roughly 60584. I'll be looking for some opportunities to the downside, probably ride this here, 60 pips here. And if it is in fact able to continue, get that down to another 116 pips. Okay, so we're just waiting to see what goes on with that and with NZD. If not, and this price is able to in fact actually continue price action, it breaks, retest, and we're going to be looking to ride this up into this region for 244 pips. Okay, so you just got to wait and see what type of opportunities you have at those levels for that specific play. Euro USD, like I told you, okay, we had the break. We already had the retest of this region. Like I told you, we're kind of like in a complex pullback situation for 4 hour. So I am personally expecting this to rally up. Okay, but you know, what you expect and what you think is like, I put what I believe could happen based off of what the market is showing me, but I don't allow my beliefs to interfere, okay, with what is actually given to me. So if the market tells me, hey, you were kind of off on the analysis, guess what? I'm fucking off, like whatever. But my job is to analyze to what I believe and then see if what I believe coincides with what actions the actual price action shows me for that particular day. So right now, what I'm seeing is, like I said, I'm projecting that this is a complex pullback for the 4 hour. It could fuck around a little bit more. And when it does do that, I want to see a little bit more clues on the 1 hour. We did in fact have a break right here already. Okay. And price is currently filling these wicks here, which is why you have all this activity. Okay, so basically right now, if price comes back into this region, I'll be, especially like somewhere in here, okay, I'll be looking for some type of options or opportunities since these wicks have been hit. Okay, hit this level's not. If it can come back here, then I'm most likely going to be looking and bounce off. I'll be looking to catch, you know, that's only like 39 pips or something like that. But my goal is up here to this 4 hour region. Okay, if that is in fact, now if this little level here, this little level is just a minor support. So I'm not really going to be looking for some heavy sells if you're trying to play it safe. If you're trying to play it safe until this level down here at the 1.08593, I'm not really going to be looking for any sell opportunities to maximize and ride down until this level breaks. If this breaks and retests, then I'll be looking for a sell to the downside off of this point here. Okay, so that's Euro USD, NU, AU, GU, UCAD, UJ, Gold, US30, DXY, and the recaps from last week. I hope you guys capitalize on those options and those signals that I gave and those levels that I wanted you to pay attention to. You know, like I said, we're here to serve and help those that are serious about it. If you're not serious about it, just fuck around on YouTube. Seriously, just do that. And you know, and just try not to lose as much money as possible. If not, you know, focus. And if you want to try to learn on your own, like I tell you guys all the time, go to Baby Pips. If you want to try to learn for free and try to figure it out, they got some pretty good education. And go from there. All right. So this is you know, another Sniper Scope episode for you guys for the week. Happy Easter. I'm doing this on a Saturday because I want to spend time with my family and do what I got to do. So yeah, catch you guys on the next one. Peace.